So let's just have a little look at my merch account. So today I got 10 sales. Being the first, I guess it's a little more than a week after the new year, numbers aren't that bad. So as you can see today, so some t-shirts, hoodies, a few pop sockets, and a couple of t-shirts. Top units sold. Here's the funny thing I wanted to show. A lot of it is pop sockets, and I stopped uploading pop sockets for quite some time. So most of my units sold are pop sockets. Top royalty is a pop socket, a t-shirt, a hoodie, and a few pop sockets, a hoodie. Yeah. So I'm getting really close to 30,000 shirts sold. Let's have a look at the chart. So right here, so this past year I haven't really worked too much, and you could really tell that. Well, you'll tell now, soon enough. But it's been very just static. A bump in December, and pretty much just stayed the same throughout the year. So I started pretty much in the beginning. So made 4 sales and then gradually. So this is what, November 2015. I think merch by Amazon started in September 2015, something like that. So as you can see, I pretty much increased throughout the year, and then it just jumped in 2018. This is probably where I made the most, and then it just basically went in a decline, or just basically been steady. Um, this past year, 2019, as I mentioned before, I didn't work on my merch by Amazon account too much. In the previous years, I have. The funny thing is, I think I probably made more here than I made in this one. Um, the royalties were a lot better back then, and not as great moving forward. All right, so that is it with my merch account. What else can I show you guys? If you guys here on live, definitely could comment, ask me questions about it. I haven't worked on my merch account for quite some time, so just want to get the ball rolling again. So maybe have a look at some stats in the UK market. So right now I'm using an extension called Pretty Merch to get this data right here. So with top royalties would be 2 t-shirts. So pretty much only uploaded t-shirts onto the UK market. Let's see. Doesn't So UK market. So my best month was December, made 27 sales. Yeah, not much. So that's what's happening in the UK market. 192 sales so far. Let's see if the German market's a bit better. So Wednesday I had 2 sales. It's always going to be just t-shirts. I just recently started uploading some pop sockets, but nothing major. It's like probably 2 or 3. Now let's go check out throughout the year. So I did sell more in the German market. So in the German market, I'm definitely doing a lot better than the UK market. And the funny thing is, I probably uploaded a lot more in the UK market because of the language. So since it isn't, I am almost doing all of my t-shirts in English, besides doing some of them in Spanish. Um, I'm really surprised I'm selling a lot better in the German market, because I'm not putting all of my t-shirts in the German market. Very selective, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot more products in the UK market than in my German market. So, but the sales are a lot better. And one of the niches that I really hit hard on does pretty well in the German market, which is cannabis. Um, a lot of my cannabis T-shirts do really well in the German market. So what else can I show you guys? Well, let's have a look at some of the updates with merch by Amazon. The dashboard has changed quite a bit. This is different, so you can sort by status here. So you can organize your stuff now with this. I'm not a big fan of the new layout, but you know, it is what it is. So what I wanted to do today is kind of start going into Merch Informer and basically play around with it, see if I can find new niches or kind of. I'll show you guys how I kind of use this. I haven't used this for quite some time, but you know, if I can get some people here on the live and you know, if they're asking questions or they want me to look for certain things in particular that they're interested in, definitely down to help you guys out here in the live. But if not, just gonna stroll around. Gonna be looking into Merch Hunter, and then another one I'm gonna be playing around with is the keyword cloud, and maybe Trend Hunter and the Social Hunter. So right now we have the best T-shirt 2020. What is this? January 11th is Trump 2020, the sequel. So that is doing really well. Now I have no idea how many units it might be selling per day. It says right here 261 moving sales. So how many is that per day? It's almost like 10 per day, almost. So that is doing really well. Let's see how it went throughout the year, if there was any price changes. It is somewhat low with the price, but yeah, I guess it just changed, stayed $14.99. And it was going really well before as well. So definitely Trump stuff does still sell and will probably continue to sell. Now there's this Canadian band. I'm not 100% sure this is related to it, but there's been a passing of one of the band members. I believe they were in Rush, and I believe the guy was the drummer. So this might be related to that. Now, technically, you wouldn't want to do something because this is, you know, a band, so they have their own copyright. But I believe this is related to that. So let's have a look. So 1999, the price is up there. So it has nothing related. It doesn't show anything related to the band, but you know, this is the only reason I could see this is selling, because this band member just died. So besides that, I don't know why, any other reason why this might be selling so well. All right, so happy 100th day of kindergartner. So I always notice kindergartner stuff has been selling, and there's like beginning of kindergartner, the king of kindergartner, first day of kindergartner. Like a lot of just like school stuff has always been selling pretty well. Anything again, Trump and America patriotism does really well. And then we have some of the brand stuff like Star Wars, MTV, birthday stuff. See, here's another school thing. Star Wars, gaming. Gaming does really well as well. Here's another one, cool one for the 100 days of school. So Valentine's Day is coming up. So as I can see right now, they're starting to sell. So if you want, if you're new and you want to get kind of in the bandwagon and follow the Valentine's Day event, definitely might be able to get sales. I'm not big on following or doing a lot of designs for the holidays or special events. It's just that the competition is so much, and I do sell, but I noticed that I would probably have to make like 20 designs, and out of those 20, one or two will take off. So I don't necessarily like doing too much, too many designs with related to holidays and special events. Is you know, I I I just sometimes overdo it and I don't see the results. But once in a while, you do hit a home run. Like this person right here, they're doing really well with this T-shirt with the Valentine's Day theme. So merchant name, they did put the Valentine's Day in the merchant name, which I've noticed people definitely suggest that as well. And it's something I've been starting to do, but I'm not 100% sure that that produces results, but I did hear a lot of people recommend it. So I do a lot of dog designs, and so now I do dogs by UGR as a merchant name. Um, but this is something other people are doing that I sometimes try out. All right, so that is some of the best sellers currently right now. So we're gonna go and look at some other stuff that isn't in such a high demand, and we can maybe check out to see what's coming up, or if we can come up with some ideas. So we have Funko. This is interesting that I haven't tried yet, but I could see this could go pretty far. Is like this is, I guess, is a pug and a beagle, I believe. So instead of just being best pug ever or best pug daddy ever, which there's probably millions of T-shirts, there's not many best puggle daddy ever. So if you can see, what's another one that's popular? The Labradoodle. So it's a Labrador and a poodle. So you can put best Labradoodle daddy ever or best Labradoodle mom ever. So finding um, those special breeds, those mixed breeds where there's not much competition, and a lot of people now kind of start owning more and showing more pride to, is something. If you're doing dog designs, definitely to check out. Got a sale. Let's see if it's something cool. Oh, it's a camping shirt. All right. Best believe they'll be camping in the winter. All right, so where we have something else interesting, the Latino market is really good, and I've actually do pretty well doing Spanish T-shirts or T-shirts in Spanish. We're gonna check out that. See some of the best selling T-shirts in Spanish. So if you have a specific language that you know either your parents know pretty well or you know pretty well, try to incorporate that. I found that using my other language, Spanish, I've been pretty successful in certain t-shirts. I've really done pretty well. So tackle languages as well. All right, so let's have a look at what this is what I'm interested in right now. I do a lot of stuff in Spanish, so let's have a look at and see how many t-shirts in Spanish, or what are the best-selling t-shirts with the keyword Spanish. Te calmas o te calmo. A lot of this stuff is, you know, this also from my personal experience is funny stuff. So anything that's humorous in Spanish does pretty well. So this is probably something very funny. Necesito cerveza. This is probably also a funny, maybe Spanish T-shirt. What is the? Yeah, there you go. Funny Spanish speaker gift T-shirt. So right there is a great keyword I would want to use. I'll make sure I incorporate that keyword in my designs. So no entiendo basically means I don't understand. Playing off Nintendo right there. It's another funny T-shirt. Soy milk basically means in Spanish I'm milk, and these guys are oh he must be Spanish. Fabuela. That's interesting. Abuela is grandma. No, fabuela, like a regular abuela, but more fabulous. All right, that's funny. So coming up with different things is pretty cool. Now, I can see this came from the Funko thing. So I guess the Funko. I don't know if you've seen it in the past. So there's another T-shirt in English. It's Funko. So I believe that one says, I could be wrong, says just like a regular uncle, but a lot more fun or something like that. So using that's another thing I do. So I go and look at popular t-shirts that are in English and see if I can translate it into Spanish, since these are trending t-shirts, or these sayings or these slogans are common for most people, and seeing if it translates into another language works. And I've seen a couple of t-shirts take off. I'm just basically translating a popular t-shirt. So if I knew German, I would definitely do that. Something, if I can see, if I can do something like this and translate it to the German market and see if it takes off, I would spend the time doing that. And with Spanish t-shirts as well, the, a lot of this grandpa and grandma stuff does really well. See right there, it's just a translation. Instead of New York, Nueva York. Got another sale. All right, so that's pretty much, got some good ideas, got some good keywords. And now, these things aren't flying off the shelf, but the competition's a lot lower than with the English stuff. And you know how many Spanish speaking people live in the States? It's huge. So definitely going to try to put more effort into that and try to come up with different unique ideas to put in this kind of niche. All right, so I wanted to look at today is the keyword cloud. I'm not sure if it's this one. Okay, let's have a look at what's this today. Again, I'm not so familiar with using Merchant Form. I just got back at it, and this is something new they have. So keyword cloud, all. So these are the keywords that are popular today. So I'm gonna get a pen. And write down some of this stuff, and also research it as well. This is super popular, like just a girl who loves this, just a girl who does this, like that has done so well for me. So if you're not sure of a keyword to use on a t-shirt, just a girl blank, just a girl that loves horses, that kind of stuff just took off. And obviously you can switch it up and put just a boy or just grandma that blah blah blah, but this one has done really well. There you go, right in the bottom as well, just a girl who loves blank. So I can see that is something I can still focus on, is target that. And then I have my certain niches like cannabis, so that's one of the niches I tackle. So I can put just a girl who loves cannabis and see if that takes off. All right, so mommy of the as well, pretty popular saying. You just fill in the blank with something else, you know. And especially if you can design a template. So if you have a design that's worked in the past, some fonts that's catered towards like the mom audience, you can make a template and put mommy of the little monsters, or mommy of the straight A student, or something like that, and then just switch it around, try different things. Once you have a template, you can just switch out certain words and create several designs. Not a hugger. All right, let's just. So I got a few things right there. I want to try out trending phrases. Let's try out trending phrases from yesterday. There are no records for this date. So do we have to go back a bit more? All right, so the 9th. So once again, I'm just gonna basically be looking for different phrases we might be able to use. My favorite season. So I guess it could be hunting season, winter, stuff like that. So that seems to be something that's trending right now. So another thing I would do is use this. I would copy it, go to Pinterest. Let's go to Etsy. And let's go, just use Google. All right. We're not going to sign in right now. Or do I have to? Maybe I do. Okay, never mind. I'm already there. Favorite season t-shirt. Oh, there's sports. So hockey is my favorite season. So sports and seasons. Makes sense. Soccer is my favorite season. So this is something you can definitely try out. So I think you'd have more success if you put in something, yeah, it's not so common. So if there's a sport that's not so common, you can put in that, and maybe you'll have success because you won't be competing with so many other people that have designed Soccer is my favorite season. So if you do that, soccer is my favorite season. You'll be competing with thousands of people. But if you have a sport that's not as popular or not so common, and it's you can't really find it, but you know there are people that play that sport a lot, you might be able to hit a home run. And it's not necessarily something that everybody's going to buy, but if you can have a steady stream of people that are buying it, like an example, instead of using soccer, I could use the word football, which in the UK, so a lot of foreigners would identify um, the soccer game. They would call it football. So, and then use that football. So, so football is my favorite season. So, but I would use that soccer ball. So, usually foreigners would identify that game as football. So, you might be able to have the Latino market buy that shirt because they don't want to call it soccer, or people from the UK call it football. So, they don't necessarily want to call it soccer. So, you might have an audience right there. So as I can see, most of them have used it for a sport. See, volleyball is my favorite season. Sports does do really well as well. So anything with that gets people passionate about, put it on a t-shirt, and away you go. Lacrosse is my favorite season. All right, so let's say here, my favorite season. Oh, there we go. So this is a good way where you can get some ideas. And the autofill. So my favorite season is baseball. So you could see these are common phrases people are looking for. My favorite season is the fall of the patriarchy. That's interesting, and there's probably not that many. Yeah, there's not that many. Well, maybe not. Maybe there's quite a bit. And now let's see what Google came up with. Well, right there with my followers here, put a plus t-shirt. Yes, it's for some reason it's mostly sports, but you could probably switch it up to food, um, and use your own creativity there. All right, so that is something interesting right there. Now I do a lot of my research with Pinterest and Etsy for most of the part. I don't use Google too much because I don't know. I just don't really like the results I get. So let's go see something else that we might use. Sarcasm, defense against stupidity. I guess that's something. Yeah, there's a lot of those. Okay. So a lot of the times what I'm looking is phrases that I might be incorporating on the niches I'm tackling, like cannabis and the dog niche. So how I put just a girl who loves a certain dog, or my favorite season is blank. So maybe I can try to do something different where I can put my favorite strain is blank. So just trying around, so coming up with ideas, playing around with concepts, and then shooting it all out, right? So as I can see, hockey is something that's repeating quite a bit, and obviously it's because it's hockey season. So that's something also to consider when you're doing sports. Try to anticipate what is either coming up or what you're in the middle of. So right now we're in the middle of hockey season. I'm sure there's a lot more demand with hockey related t-shirts than there might be anything related to something that just finished. Like I believe the American football just finished, so there might be a down tick on that, and the hockey stuff is being more popular right now. for 3-year. Let's see. A little hippie. Let's see if I can find something like that. It's all about testing, experimenting, searching, researching. A little hippie, a little hood. Okay. And that's for the most part. Don't just repeat what's here, because as you can see, a little hippie, a little hood is, there's a ton of stuff. So maybe you can switch up the hippie and the hood part. So a little sweetheart, a little gangster. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just switch it up, come up with your own concepts. But something like that might work, where you put a little something and a little thing. It can be contrasting, which makes it somewhat funny. So that's something that might be a little blank, a little blank. A horrible idea. What? I'm pretty sure that's a great thing for a t-shirt. I think I've probably seen this quite a bit. A horrible idea. One time. Okay. That's what it is. And that's a popular t-shirt that I've seen. Spirit animal. My spirit animal is a unicorn. Is something really popular I've seen in the past. Back to the Future. All right. So that is the trending phrases. Something I'm really excited to use. With a hint of blap, you get something. Let's see. Pinterest is really good. With a hint of, let's get a t-shirt. Nice with a hint of naughty. Humble with a hint of Kanye. Okay. All right, so they're using contrast, right? Something positive, something negative, something good, something bad, right? So something you can definitely use. So another with a hint of. So how we had that other one, we can probably try to use it. Where was the other one? Hippie with a hint of hood. So that might not be something that's here, but someone might be able to, somebody might like it and use it. So that's something we can do. So hippie at heart with a little hint of hood, or something like that. All right, so that is a great tool right there. So now what I want to do, the last thing I'm going to do is merge, where is it? Merge archive. So we're going to look at last year's in January. So basically almost 1 year in the past. Have a look at what was selling. And I know the Valentine's Day is going to probably be popping up a bit. So the 100 Day of School was something really popular as well last year. That same person probably did really well with that t-shirt last year, and it's did pretty well this year. So a lot of the Valentine's Day stuff. And this as well has popped up quite a bit. Now, if you're not American, sometimes it's hard to understand why certain things are popular, like this lady. I'm not 100% sure who she is, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And if it's worth the time to investigate. So this person might be still trending this year, and it might be worth doing some T-shirts. Yeah, that 100 day of school thing was doing really well. I guess every year. So it's something, if you are in that kid market, if you are doing stuff for kids, definitely have your T-shirts for the 100th day of school. All right, guys. So that was it for today. Gotta go back and join the family, have some dinner, and then I'll be working on some merch designs, merch concepts, and that's it. Gonna be it for today. So if you guys have any questions, put it in the comments section. I'll try to get back. I usually try to get back at every person. I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you're interested in Merch Informer, I have a coupon code. I will eventually put that in the description down below. If not, you can definitely try this out for 3 days and not necessarily sign up to be a member or cancel your membership, but you still have those 3 days and you have a wealth of information to get the ball rolling. I will probably do this one more time, see if there's more interest in this, and we'll go from there. All right. Have a good weekend. Enjoy it. I'll see you next time. Peace.